And then you've got New Orleans. They're 7-7 headed into Monday night. Minnesota's still alive at 7-8. The Falcons technically alive at 7-8. Washington also mathematically alive, but they're 6-9, and a lot's going to have to happen for them. They've got a lot of ground to make up and a lot of teams between them and one of those wild card spots. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around the National Football League. Interesting week again. Baker Mayfield, we talked about his performance a little earlier. He's now got the most interceptions since 2018 in the entire National Football League with 54. For a little perspective on that Browns-Packers game on Christmas, Aaron Rodgers on the season has thrown 4 interceptions. Baker Mayfield in Green Bay on Saturday threw 4 in that game alone. One of the hottest teams in the NFL, it's got to be the Indianapolis Colts. After starting the year 1-4, they've gone 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're now 9-6, and they are squarely in the playoff hunt. One of the coldest teams, the Arizona Cardinals. Remember when they were 7-0 and looked like they might go undefeated? Yeah, about that. Since then, they've lost 5 of their last 8. They're now 10-5. They go from possibly having the top spot in the NFC playoffs and home field advantage to possibly being a wild card team and starting and finishing the playoffs on the road. The Cardinals are headed in the wrong direction at a bad time. The Steelers, we mentioned this earlier, they've gone without a first half touchdown now in each of their last 5 games. It's the first time that that's happened to the Steelers since 1940. The Dallas Cowboys' Trayvon Diggs had his 11th interception of the season on Sunday night. That, by the way, is more than 12 teams have in total. It's the most by any player in a single season since Everson Walls had 11 back in 1981. That was also for the Cowboys. Cowboys, by the way, scored more points on Sunday night than the Giants have the entire month of December. The Cowboys put up 56 on Washington on Sunday night. The Giants have scored 46 points the entire month of December. The Seahawks are the first team this season to lose multiple games after leading by double digits in the fourth quarter. They also did it in Week 2 versus the Titans. Both those losses, by the way, have come at home as well. Seattle has clinched last place in the NFC West for the first time since moving to the division back in 2002. In his first game since Week 6, Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown had his 23rd career game with 10 or more receptions. That breaks a tie with Andre Johnson for the most by any player in NFL history. Sunday marked the Vikings' 12th straight one-score game this season. That ties the 1989 Chargers and the 2015 Ravens for the longest single-season streak in NFL history. Minnesota, by the way, 6-6 during that 12-game streak. Just when it looked like Joe Burrow was going to claim the title of best first half by a quarterback in Week 16, along came Dak Prescott. Burrow, in Cincy's win over the Ravens, his first half numbers look like this: 18 of 21, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Cincinnati was up 31-14. Not too shabby, right? Well, then Dak Prescott Sunday night against Washington, 27 of 35, 342 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a 42-7 halftime lead for the Cowboys. 2 games by 2 really good quarterbacks, but Prescott outshined Burrow on Sunday. Prescott, by the way, first quarterback in NFL history with a passing touchdown to a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and an offensive lineman in a single regular season game. Now, Kurt Warner did it, but he did it in the playoffs. Back in 1999, it was the divisional round versus Minnesota, and Warner did it then. But Prescott, the first quarterback to do that in a regular season game. The Dallas Cowboys, oh, by the way, the second NFL team in the last 30 years to have not 1, but 2 40-point wins in a season. The other, the 2007 Patriots, they finished the season 16-0, you may remember. All right, that's going to do it for us. Don't forget, our next episode will drop on Thursday. We'll look back at that big Monday night game between the Dolphins and Saints, and we'll get you ready for Week 17 in the National Football League with a preview of every game, plus the latest news, notes, and more. You can hit up the show. Find us on Twitter at TalkingProFB. You can get me at RealMikeCarlyle. Email us, TalkingProFootball@gmail.com. We are out of time. We'll be back again on Thursday for another edition of Talking Pro Football on the After Hours Podcast Network.
Love combat sports? I have a website for you, cageminds.com. That's CAGEDMINDS.com. Fight news from around the world, in-depth interviews, live event coverage, covering combat sports for over a decade. Established in April 2011. That's cageminds.com.